Hello. I have my sliding glass doors open, so we might get the occasional truck going by. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I have a fan on. Thank you. Hi, Lauren. So you know what it sounds like when someone's recording outside and they're like, they don't have the cover over their mic, so it sounds like wind going over. Do you guys hear that at all? Because if it is, if it's annoying, I will turn it off. And I'm hoping everybody can comment. Not annoying, all good. Okay, good. Thank you very much for answering. What's up? What's up? Told you I'd be back today. I told ya. We're all professional. Okay? We're all professional right now. We got this friggin' ring light on. I'm being sarcastic because if you've been at my lives, you know that ring light's only going to last temporarily. Thank you, little genie. Good. We can all comment. Good, good, good. Thank you very much. Can I affirm SP will do anything to be with me for him to commit? Of course, you can affirm anything you want. Anything you want. Piece of advice, though. If you're going to affirm something like that, who are you in that equation? Which version are you? Which version of yourself are you? What state of being are you embodying? Thank you for the gifts. Right? Because this is, listen, as far as like the SP journey goes, this is what I see people get tripped up on all the time. And I'm only saying that because I used to do the same damn thing, so I get it. When we're manifesting someone, we want to put all of our focus and attention on that person. So if you're manifesting a specific person, you want to affirm your balls off about the specific person. So all of our focus, all of our attention, all of our awareness goes on them and what they are doing, and not putting the focus and attention on ourselves. Now, I'm not saying we can't put any attention over there. That's not what I mean by that. But whenever we're manifesting, we're not changing them. We're changing this. This is what brings about the change. So I hope that your beliefs are that you are more than enough, you are worthy and deserving of love, right? Things like that. And obviously, focusing on the version of your person who willingly wants to be with you too. Now, listen, that was a little play on words. I don't mean that they have free will. Because I know that can be a taboo for some reason, subject. People get sensitive about the free will, but in reality, everything is a reflection of you. So you're selecting versions of people and yourself when you think about it. So who are you in that equation? Because I'm assuming you want to be in a relationship with your person. Well, who are you? What version are you? Are you the version of yourself that can be loved? That can accept love? Can receive love? Can you really believe that your person, really wants to choose you, really wants to be with you? Because it's very easy to be surface level answering. Like, well, oh yeah. I know I'm worthy and deserving of it. I know. Yeah, I am. Because I used to do the same thing. But all the while, there was stories. Love is hard. I can't hold a relationship for more than 2 years. That was one of mine. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to give you ones outside of the normal, like the not good enough, not chosen, which are like one and the same. right? So what are your stories about love? What are your stories about relationships? What do you really believe is true for you? Because we could be saying, no, I believe that I'm worthy and deserving of a relationship, while at the same time be telling the story, this is hard. Relationships just don't last. I always get hurt in love. I only get the ones I don't even want. The ones I want never love me back. So we got to be aware if we're telling those stories. Because if we are, and we're not changing that, and we've got all our focus on what SP's doing, we're telling two conflicting stories. So at best, we're going to experience hot and cold behavior. At best. I know that's annoying. I had to learn that the hard way. That's why I'm trying to tell you so you don't have to learn it the hard way, I mean. I broke it off with SP because only wanted friends with benefits and others got angry. Now regret. What next? Reach out? What do you mean and others got angry? Are you saying that they're other peeps? Like third parties, others? You breaking it off with your specific person because all they wanted was friends with benefits, and I'm assuming you mean others as in other people in the equation. Now you regret it. Why do you regret that now? Why? Because you haven't heard from them? Haven't had any interaction from them? So now you're afraid you've lost them? You haven't, but it's showing you that your story's still alive. Because the fear is coming in, and the fear is getting you to question whether you should reach out, take some action to pull them back in. Again, trust me, I don't know how much of my content you've seen, but I am never trying to give the message that you can't reach out to your person. You can if you want to. I think anybody telling you inherently not to without knowing more of your details is thinking very limited. They are thinking extremely logical, and they are too focused on the push and pull energy, which is a belief, therefore a limit. So this is not meant for me. I don't want you to walk away thinking, oh, she doesn't think I should text him. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, why do you want to? And let's look at that, because that is telling you the story. See what I mean? Okay, so if you're saying like, all right, I regret it, I'm scared because I haven't heard from him, he hasn't taken any action. No, that is fear talking. So if I were you, I would be putting the focus on who you want to be and put all that focus there. I'm not saying you can't think about your specific person or focus on person. I'm not saying that, but you should be your number one focus and who you are. So like, let's say for example, let's say your specific person, you felt like they didn't want to commit to a full-blown relationship, right? You had that experience with them. They were not showing up wanting to fully commit. So that would tell me, because it was believable by you, believable and hurtful. This isn't a bad thing what I'm saying to you. I'm just trying to get you to see. Okay, that was believable. That rang true to you. So when they said, I don't want to commit, you believed it, and it hurt, which totally normal. But that's telling you that more than likely there's a belief there, the not good enough belief. Now, normally I would just say not chosen, but not chosen is not good enough because there's always a because. They're not choosing me because of this. So it's the not good enough belief. I'm just saying. So right now, you're just being human right now. So the lack of communication from that person is making you feel like you've lost them. You have lost no one. You've lost no one. Might be quiet in your 3D reality, but it's not over. It's not over till you decide it's over. I know that sounds like they're all robots, but that's not what I mean. So I would put the focus on the version of you who believes that you are more than enough, worthy and deserving of a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship, and that's all you interact with. Quality people. The version of your specific person. It's a quality, right? Quality person who shows up cherishing you, committing to you, right? Wants to be in that committed relationship with you. The version of yourself that's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. That's who you are. That's what I would be focusing on. And not about what they're doing. That's the humanness in you. Thinking about, oh, why aren't they contacting me? Why aren't they, don't they miss me? Aren't they afraid they're losing me? In that moment when you're thinking it, no. Because thought transmission is instant. Because we're all connected in consciousness. They're thinking what you're thinking. So when you think, oh, they only want a friends with benefits situation, that becomes true. And that's what they're thinking. When you change what you believe about yourself, it changes what they think. See what I'm saying? What about lying and them self-sabotaging things between us? So are you saying, what about them lying? Like if they have lied to you, I would ask myself, what felt true about that? Like, how did you feel when you found out they lied? How did that make you feel? Because there's a belief. And to anybody that is brand new to manifestation, please let me put up the disclaimer if you don't already know this. When you're taking a look at the who you believe you are, and you're really thinking about what beliefs you have had that has made reality appear the way it does, especially if it's unfavorable, it is very easy to slip into the thinking like it's all your fault and you've ruined everything. And that's just simply not true. You can't look at it that way, but it's easy to. It's easy to go into the victim mindset and start beating yourself up for what's shown up in reality. You can't do that to yourself. You can't be hard on yourself for what has manifested if you weren't even aware that it was your own beliefs at play. You can't do that. And it's a waste of your time. And that's not going to help your ass get into the state of consciousness that you need to be in, right? It's going to keep you in a victim state, which is going to do what? Keep manifesting more shit that you don't like. So, no beating ourselves up for stuff, okay? But when it comes to if your SP has lied to you, all right, we got a lack of trust now. And now we got a story that they've lied. So an old version of you would probably continue worrying that when they tell you stuff, you're doubting it. You're going to question it. So we don't want to start that story. And if they've lied to you more than once, okay, more than likely, the first time they did, it was from the not good enough belief. Again, I mean, I would have to talk to you one-on-one to know for sure. But sounds like the not good enough. And then that started the story that your person is capable of lying. You could simply have a belief that you believe people lie. Or even a generalized belief. Like all men lie, all women lie. Do you see how there could be all sorts of different beliefs all thrown in the mixing bowl? So when you're manifesting a specific person, in that mixing bowl are your beliefs about yourself, your beliefs about love, your beliefs about relationships, your beliefs about, your specific person, your generalized beliefs. I know that sounds overwhelming, which is why we don't go hunting. We don't go hunting. You go hunting when you first find manifestation so that you understand how things are working, which is you are always experiencing in reality the reflection of the state of consciousness that you are dominantly embodying. That's what's happening. And once we come to the understanding of what state we're in and why we are there, from there, the most beneficial is to start putting your awareness on the state you want to be in. Because every state is already equipped. It's already equipped. So the version of you in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship, that state is already put together for you. Has all the beliefs necessary for you to have that experience. So put your focus on that instead of digging to find more things that are wrong with the current version of you, because we're leaving that version behind. It's a waste of time. It keeps you on a cycle, and it keeps you forever finding more and more beliefs, no matter how much. I'm telling you, I don't care how many people in videos want to tell you that you got to keep digging. They are leading you to a path of forever finding things, because it's a state in itself. It's a state in of itself. Hope that makes sense. What do you mean, Laura Lulu? He is a manifestation of the old version of me, though. Meaning your person is? Your person's showing up reflecting the old version of you? So are you aware of being the new version of you? Are you aware of being that new version? Because if you were embodying that state, you would be perceiving reality differently. See what I mean? Kim, I'm not going to lie. I haven't heard from SP in over a month. It's hard not to spiral. I'm so hurt. Well, that's the whole reason why we don't have to deny what we're feeling. We don't have to be, we don't have to pretend we're not hurting when we are. And we don't have to be afraid of having our emotions and feelings. We're human. We're going to have them. But, there's the but. But, let's talk about, why are you spiraling? What are the thoughts that are coming in while spiraling? What are the fears that are coming in? Those are what we need to address. Because when we're spiraling, we think all sorts of shit thoughts. And other shitty stories start looking more and more believable. Like, for example, oh, he just doesn't want me. He just doesn't want a relationship with me. He's never going to talk to me again. He's just left. He's ghosted, or whatever words we're using these days. He's just gone. He's abandoned me. First of all, there's an easy belief right there. Abandonment. So what are the thoughts? Let's see. Because his last message was sweet and then he just vanished on me. I feel forgotten. That's the story. I feel forgotten. I haven't heard from him. Therefore, that must mean he's abandoned me. He's forgetting me. He doesn't care about me. I'm not important to him. Hear it? Think about it. Every time we experience something in reality, the state of consciousness we are embodying supplies the meanings. The meanings. So, for example, what I used to do, if I didn't get a morning text message from my person, if you're not new to my channel, you've heard this story a million times. If you're new, here's some of my personal fuckery. If I didn't get the morning text message, and most importantly, if I did get it, and all it said was, morning, good morning, I expected a morning text message every single day, and it had to say, good morning, beautiful, or good morning, I love you. Had to say one or the other. And if it didn't, instant spiral. Instant. Even worse of a spiral if no text message came. But if plain old morning came, that equaled to me, he didn't love me. If I didn't get the text message, it was automatic. He doesn't love me. If I did, and it was one of those half-ass morning, that meant he was falling out of love with me. And I inherently believed that. And I know how crazy it sounds. Trust me. You don't need to tell me. I know. But that was the meaning I gave it. That was my interpretation of text messages. If you don't say good morning, beautiful, I think you don't love me anymore. Clearly, I had to change that belief. Thank God. But it was very real to me back then. It was very real. I really believed that with all my heart. So I would spiral all the time, if not daily. Because that morning text message, it controlled my day. If I got the good morning, beautiful, I had a good rest of the day until it was time for the after work phone call. If I didn't get the after work phone call, meaning like when he got out of work, he would call me. If I didn't get that, spiral. He doesn't love me. You don't got time to call me? I know you're sitting in your car driving. I know you are. Why can't you call me? How selfish. That's not love. Yeah. I know it sounds crazy, and I own it. But that was the meaning, because that was evidence to me that I'm no longer important because you're not doing the little things anymore. So you don't love me. Or you must be getting bored of me. And I believed that that's what happens in relationships. In the beginning, it's all hot-blooded puppy love, and then you get bored of the person. So I believe that's what's happening. You're getting bored of me. I'm not that interesting to you anymore, right? I'm not your hot new item. So you think that you're not going to treat me nice anymore. That's what you think you're going to do to me. So let me spiral and lose my mind and jump ship before you jump ship. So let me pick an argument before you pick I was ridiculous. But it was totally saying who I was and what I believed about myself, which wasn't much. So, Beyonce, the lack of messages inherently means something to you. You've already answered. You said it makes me feel like I'm forgotten. Okay, that's a story. Now, I'm not trying to make you feel like you are wrong for the way you feel. Feelings are valid. If we want our person to contact us daily, I get it. I liked my daily contact too. And I didn't like when I didn't get it, but I had to address that. So this is what you're doing. You're addressing that. Because we have a story that we can be forgotten. We have a story that this person can just discard us like nothing and not miss us, not want us around. And there's probably other little like commas why that's even a possibility for you. So we have to change that. We have to start looking at a different version of ourselves. But I want you to know, this is never about forcing yourself not to spiral. If you're fucking sad, you're sad. If you have to cry, cry. But think about it in the moment while you're doing it. Stay aware of where your mind is going. Listen to the stories that are floating through your mind. They're there. Try to see and hear the story, the inner chatters that is going on, even while you're spiraling. Notice them. Notice how those stories just start coming at you. Thoughts just start coming at you because they're just thoughts. I know some of them are painful thoughts, but we were in a habit of listening and believing those thoughts. We are used, reword, we are conditioned to believe that the thoughts we have, they are us. They are who we are. So when we have thoughts that hurt, we believe those thoughts are true. And we think that we are the person thinking the thoughts. Cuckoo, I know that sounds cuckoo. No, we are the person observing the thoughts. We are the beingness observing. Thoughts are utterly meaningless until we decide differently. See what I mean? We could keep going down a rabbit hole on this, but you are not your thoughts. You are observing thoughts, so they don't have to be true. They're not facts until you decide they are. I too, Beyonce, if I were you, I would take a look at what do you really believe about him? What do you really believe about him? Do you believe that this man can show up and choose you and be in a relationship? Do you think it's possible? Now, if you answer no, no big deal. There's the evidence. We're focusing on the shit version of him. We're focusing on a shit version. We want to surrender that version of him and imagine the version of him that is showing up and choosing you, because you are more than enough worthy and deserving of it. AKSE1110, I hope you're having a great day. Thank you very much. If I manifest my dream life, will I become my dream self that lives my dream reality? If I manifest my dream life, will I become my dream self that lives my dream reality? Yes. Yes. Because how would you be able to manifest the dream life if you weren't the dream self? Unless you've got a little caveat belief in there. I can manifest my dream life, but I can't enjoy it. I can't love it. Because I'm not good enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. Manifesting your dream life happens because you imagined yourself there. So I'm thinking you would have to be that version if it's actually your dream life, right? How could it be your dream life if you weren't your dream self? How could it be your dream life if it wasn't your dream reality? It would have to be. Sorry, I'm listening because my boyfriend's coming home from work soon. We all know I go when he comes home because my dog was crazy because she's so happy. But we will know when he comes home because he's on the motorcycle. So it'll be loud. He has ignored every occasional message since the last one. I'm not sure anymore. Okay. First of all, your username is just all numbers, but thank you so much. Am I glowing? Hope it's not all just sweat. Just saying. No, just kidding. Thank you. All right. So he has ignored every occasional message. Now, I want you to authentically answer this to me, okay? Please. So I can help you. Authentically. Those occasional messages. Why are you sending them? What is the purpose behind the sending them? To anybody that's new, that didn't hear me talking earlier, I am not someone that thinks you cannot reach out to your specific person. Please understand that. I'm asking her for a reason. Okay? Yes, per Steph, we do. Okay. So what was authentically the reason why you would send occasional messages? Crystal Light, thank you so much. To check in because he's had a lot of stress going on. Okay. Now, when you didn't get the response, how did that make you feel? And when you initially sent the message, even if, all right, so I know the way you worded it makes me think you sent obviously more than one message. So after you press send, how do you feel? Do you get the anxiety butterflies? The nervousness if he doesn't respond? And if so, what is it telling you? It's probably back to the, I feel like he's ignoring me. I feel like he's not, choosing me. He's forgetting me. It's probably something like that. So, meaning we got to go back. We got to go back to the self we want to be. At first, I sent it because I thought we were good. You are good. Hear it. Hear it in your answer. At first, I sent it because I thought we were good. Now I'm feeling bad. Why wouldn't you still be doing good? Well, I'm sure you're going to say, because he didn't answer me. Because he hasn't responded to me. Yeah, I know that. So what does that mean to you? The last conversation the two of you had was fine. Right? It was good. You guys were good. You send a message, he doesn't respond. We must be bad. Must not be good. He must not want me anymore. He must be moved on and married and moved to Texas and has 1,000 babies. It's the story. And then the story progressed. Right? we stayed in the cycle. So then we texted again, didn't get a response. That only amplified the fear. And then we moved and we hung around that state of consciousness, hence reality. Do you see what I mean? Because I assume he doesn't want me anymore. Mic drop. Mic drop. There's your answer. They're not good enough, belief. It's not good enough. Why wouldn't he want you anymore? What about you would make him not interested anymore? It's not good enough, belief. Hear it? It's not good enough, belief. So you are applying meanings to the communication. Listen, don't misunderstand me, Beyonce. That doesn't mean you're a bad manifester. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying every single thing in life, everything, down to pencils we use, there's a meaning behind it. We attach a reason to things, a meaning. I know that sounds silly, but we do. Meanings. We have meanings for everything. So the meanings we give things are perceptions, right? We're perceiving it. He didn't send me my morning message. I'm perceiving that as you don't love me anymore. If he only texted, morning, you're falling out of love with me. That was the meaning. That was my perception. That was telling me what state I'm in. Definitely the not good enough. For me, it was. I couldn't believe and receive love. Couldn't believe it. Now, if you had talked to me in those moments, I would have told you, of course I believe I'm worthy and deserving of love. Of course I do. Duh, of course I do. But I wasn't paying attention to the chatter in my mind authentically. Authentically, like what was really going on in my mind was, I couldn't believe he was in a relationship with me. I couldn't believe that he chose me because I did not like my appearance. So it didn't make sense to me why this man would love me because I didn't love myself. I didn't like anything about me. You know, I've shared, again, I share a lot of this stuff. So for some of you, this is all repeat information. But I've been up and down in weight my whole life. So clearly we got a story there. So I would use that. Like, why would you love me? Why would you want this? You can go get somebody else skinnier. That was my beliefs. I'm sorry. So I had to work on those. I had to make a new decision for myself so that I could believe and accept and receive love. But I would have been answering it honestly. As fucked up as that sounds, I would have been like, yeah, I know I'm worthy and deserving of love. Yeah. Not being aware. That's a better word. I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware until I was like in a real spiral. I was like in a mid spiral, and that's when I heard, the why. Why do I believe that this man not texting me this morning is because he doesn't love me? So this is what staying aware. This is why I feel, again, personal opinion. It's why I think it's required to manifest successfully. Let me word it like that. And maintain is staying aware. Staying aware is simply observer mode. You're just who you are behind the eyes is beingness. It's your beingness. Then you are identity. Staying in observer mode, and that's what I call it, is when you are, in a sense, in your mind, separating from identity enough to just be aware and observe your thoughts. Now, it doesn't have to be as complicated as I just described it to you, but that's what it feels like in my head. I'm kind of separating out. You're just going quiet, right? It's not some big hooey-dooey thing you have to do. It's just being quiet and really just listening to your thoughts. That's when you're going to hear the stories. There's a better word. I can't think of it right now, but there's always chatter. There's always inner conversations happening. They're happening every single second. So the goal isn't to stop your inner conversations, because we're never going to, right? We don't control the thoughts that pop into our mind. So don't worry about having to stop all conversations in your mind. You're not doing that. But instead, you're noticing them. You're staying aware of them. Because probably for most of your life, you've been believing them, especially the not chosen, not wanted, can be forgotten or abandoned, not good enough for the love that you want. Because you were believing the inner chatter, which was, right, what grew the state of consciousness, grew it to be your normal. Let me word it like that. That then you started experiencing the reflection of it in reality, and it only made it more true. So it's not your fault. But now it's time to go back to observing, being aware of what thoughts are coming in and what stories you've got going on. You're already aware of one. He can disappear. He can just disappear when there was nothing wrong. He just stopped communicating because he's forgetting you, because he doesn't want you. That's not a fact. That's a story. And if we focus on the version of you that can't be forgotten, not possible. You're unforgettable. You're the best thing to ever happen to that man. You start focusing on that version of yourself who's worthy and deserving of love. You'll see his ass come right back in. Listen, in the past, when you were experiencing this, I believe I gave you the same advice, and I told you, you're going to hear from him again. It's not going anywhere. And wasn't I right? I told you so, right? I think that's my boyfriend's motorcycle. Hold on. Yeah, I'll be right back. I got to open the garage for him. Are you happy? Are you happy now? Are you still here? Or do you abandon ship? Sorry about that. At least you all witness, because nobody believes me. The moment she hears a motorcycle, she always, even if my boyfriend is sitting right next to me on the couch, she hears a motorcycle go by. She absolutely connects that to it's his. So every motorcycle must belong to my boyfriend. She'll start barking. She barks if we open the garage or close the garage door, because the only time we open it and close it is when I have my special car I keep in there, my manifested special car, just saying, that I bought 2 or 3 years ago and still haven't driven it because I baby it. That's a whole other story. Don't touch me. But the motorcycle, yeah. So when he comes home, just like you guys were here for it, I'll run out and go open up the garage door to let him in. And then, we close it behind it. I can't let her in the garage while that's happening because she goes and tries to attack the garage door. But once the garage door is down, you guys heard her barking. That was her waiting to be let into the garage. She'll come out. This is how sassy my girl is. How you know she's my dog. She'll go right up to my boyfriend and sit there and keep barking at him. It's like she's saying, "Get off that bike and get in the house." It's funny, but that's what all that chaos was. Anyway. Okay, let's see. She is a good girl. She's just a barky bitch. She's sassy. I've been better about thinking of SP in a loving way. I just want him to stop talking to other girl. Okay, so when you are aware, first of all, are you in a relationship with your SP? I'm only asking, I'm trying to signify if you're already in the relationship and he's doing that. Okay, that's a different conversation. But if you're manifesting him and right now, maybe it's not a full committed relationship and you're aware that he has talked to other girls. It doesn't matter if you're in the relationship or out the relationship. I wouldn't like that either. So I'm not trying to say we have to be okay with stuff like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. But about what the belief is. What do we believe about relationships? What do we believe about love? Because if you're a version of yourself that believes she's worthy and deserving of, faithfulness, someone being loyal, then the fear of them doing bad things, like cheating and stuff like that, that wouldn't be there. Meaning, I'm not saying that the thought will never enter your mind, right? I'm saying it wouldn't inherently be something we're worried about if you were in the state of a woman or a man who believes that they are worthy and deserving of that. And that's all they know. Meaning that's your normal. It's your normal to know and believe and to trust that the person you love mutually loves you the same and is faithful to you. Does that make sense? Hi, London. I love that you said that, Tiana Crystal. I love that you just said that because it's true. It is true, and it's why if you've been in the manifestation community, you notice, because it does happen. I coach a lot of people. I see this happen quite often, that when someone starts putting the focus on a new version of themselves, and they start actually loving and respecting themselves, that the original specific person they were manifesting, they stop being interesting. We stop being attracted to them. Now, I'm not trying to scare anybody and trying to make you feel like you're going to stop wanting your specific person. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I see it. I see sometimes, because some people are manifesting a specific person because they think that's all they can get. They think, well, that's the only person I've ever been interested in, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to keep going with this person. And maybe that started with someone not loving themselves at all. And then as their self-concept changes in the new state, suddenly we look at the original SB and think, what the hell was I thinking? I don't think I want that person anymore. Their taste changes. But again, that doesn't happen every single time, so don't panic. That doesn't mean, if you're watching out there, it doesn't mean that that's going to happen to you. I'm just saying I've seen it happen. Don't panic. The reason why I'm saying don't panic, because my old self would have heard someone say what I just said, and that would have triggered me. That would have scared me. That would have made me think, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to get him because I'm going to think so good of myself and then I won't want him anymore. I don't want that to happen. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. Let's see. How to book specific acting role when I have zero connections and I'm afraid it's already been cast. You got to see yourself in the role. See yourself on set. Now, granted, you might say, I don't know what it's going to be like to be on set. You're imagining it. You're creating it. Well, not really creating it. You're selecting it. Imagine it. Imagine being in the role. Imagine being around other cast members, even if you don't know who the other cast members are. It doesn't matter. You're imagining it. We don't have to have perfectly clear pictures. When your mind is pulling you in the direction of, I don't know how this is going to work. What if this doesn't work? I don't know anybody. I don't have any connections. Stop. Just dead stop. We're thinking about things. That is not our business. That is higher self or whatever you believe in. God, universe, infinite intelligence. It is not for you. So the reason why your body starts feeling ugh when you start focusing on the how something's going to unfold, there's a reason why we start to get worried, anxious. We get the ick. It's because it's not meant for us to be concerned with. I know that's so, I'm saying it so flippantly, but your body's giving you the signal. Your body is sending you the message. Yo, you're focusing on something that you're never going to figure out anyway. So you having a connection is not going to stop you from manifesting. Seriously. And you might have a connection that you're not even aware that you have too. There's a bigger orchestration happening, right? We only see such a limited view. And all we think about is the limited people we're aware of that we might know. There's a bigger picture happening, a bigger orchestration. Don't you worry. You having a connection or not has no bearing on whether you get this. That's just your logical mind talking. It's fear. And it probably doesn't feel good when you think that thought, does it? That's your signal. Nope. Bring it back to already having it. Or that you are going to have it. Whatever wording feels good to you. I manifested my SP back 2 times. But now it feels harder, like I can't let go of old stories and feel I do everything wrong this time. No, you need to see that as the opposite. No, it's the opposite. This is the last time you're going to do it. You're going to manifest your person and keep him and maintain or her and maintain it this time. It's not harder. It's not harder. It might feel different than the other times, and that's a good thing because we clearly have not maintained it. If we've had to manifest them more than once, we weren't maintaining. That's not to judge yourself. That's not what I mean. That's not me criticizing. I'm saying, see, it should feel different this time because this time they're back to stay. So things might feel different, but they're not harder. It's not harder. You're moving into this new state of consciousness and you're making that state your dominant. You might not feel like you are, but that's why we return. That's why we persist. Remember, persisting doesn't mean pretending to not worry, pretending to not be afraid of something. Persisting doesn't mean you can't have emotions and feelings. Persisting means coming back to the truth of who you are and who you're choosing to be. That's persisting. You return to your decision to be that version of yourself. But it better feel different. We want it to feel different this time, my friend. And again, if you're new to my channel, I had to do the same damn thing more than once. And yes, it did feel different. I was scared. I felt like it felt different because it feels like it's more permanent this time. That's what I felt like. But it wasn't. That was my fear talking. But it did feel different because I wasn't going to play the game anymore. We're not going to manifest this person 1,000 times. Not doing it. You're coming back to stay. Period. And if that meant I had to keep returning, then I was going to keep returning. And I utterly refused to be anything like my old self. Now, all I mean by that is that's what I said to myself when I was feeling bad, when I was reacting to things. I refuse to be my old self. I refuse it. Whatever that means, I refuse it. I refuse to go back to my old thinking. I refuse to live my life afraid of 3D reality. And I definitely refuse to live afraid or that I got to live on eggshells to be with this person. Not happening anymore. Not happening. I'm going to have a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. That's who I am. I didn't always believe it. I had days I doubted. But you're going to do it because I did it. You're going to do it. You are welcome. I am proof too. My SP is changing too. Well done, per stuff. What about those who know SP, but SP doesn't know them? Mine isn't famous, but I don't know if it'll happen. Yes, it will happen. If you could think the thought, it already exists. Whether, this is for anybody else out there, whether you're manifesting a celebrity or not, even if it's not a celebrity, like you said, but this person maybe doesn't know you, doesn't matter. Your logical mind is going to tell you that it matters. 3D world thinkers are going to tell you it matters and that you're crazy for wanting to manifest someone that you don't know. But because they're thinking limited, they're thinking in their little realistic box. We're not trying to be realistic. We don't want basic bitch realistic lives so they can stay out there and be as realistic as they want. This is about being unrealistic. This is about experiencing your dreams, your desires, as out of left field as they might be. So what? Your imagination is the true reality. I know it's hard to believe that. It's definitely hard to trust that. I didn't either. I just didn't give up. I just kept returning. So you're going to do the same thing. It doesn't matter, by the way. It doesn't matter that, again, from a logical perspective, it probably feels like it matters. And it feels like it matters because in the 3D world, we have the conditioning of how relationships start. So you're probably, I just want to give you a heads up, you're probably limiting yourself by, or overwhelming yourself by thinking about what you think needs to happen in order for you to manifest this. Like, first we have to meet. First we have to talk to each other. This person needs to figure out who I am. Then we need to talk a little while. Then, that person needs to ask me out. And then we're going to go out on our date. And we got to have, a certain amount of dates. We're going to spend more time together. And then, no, throw all that in the garbage. How this is going to unfold, you and I are never going to figure out. But I will tell you that if you have been focusing on being a person in a relationship, which is what you're manifesting, with that person, and you've been allowing yourself to be in imagination, imagining living in that relationship, then every single thing you've been experiencing, literally everything, even the things that look like they have no connection, are somehow, some way, stretching your mental muscles, expanding your awareness. And it's been, for a lack of a better way of saying it, leading you to you having it. Even if you think right now in this moment that not a damn thing has changed in reality, if you've been doing your due diligence, to focus on the self you want to be, reality has already started recalibrating itself. I know that can be so difficult to believe. I know it. I was a very logical person. Okay, I thought this manifestation stuff, mind you, when I found it, it was just law of attraction. Law of assumption didn't really have a community then. So it was just law of attraction stuff. And I thought that anybody talking about the law of attraction was off their balls, cuckoo. I did not believe it. But for some reason, I was drawn to listen to it. There wasn't a lot of channels back then. TikTok didn't even exist back then. So I definitely judged anybody talking about law of attraction. I judged them. But yet I was secretly very much interested in it, that I would kept hitting click and listening. So don't worry if you doubt. What matters is that you return. And I hope anybody that's I hope you know what I mean. When I say return to your decision, I'm talking about you bringing your awareness back to being aware of being the version of you experiencing the manifestation, aka the wish fulfilled. That's what I'm talking about. Clear pictures don't matter either. We think in pictures. So anybody that feels like, well, I can't visualize, you don't worry about it. Thinking thoughts is enough. Thinking is enough. So allow yourself, like a little child would do, in the imagination, thinking of your life, living whatever it is you're manifesting. That is enough to manifest. It might not sound like it is, but it is. Because that's all we've been doing our entire life. Okay? You just really want to be successful. Then focus on that, Yvonne. Focus on that version of yourself. Hold on. This is one of those, I gotta do the puzzle piece to prove I'm not a bot. Jeez. Why does TikTok do that? I also complain about it every time it happens, so that's why it happens. Take your own advice, Kimberly. Focus on that version of yourself. What does it mean to you to be successful? Successful in what? Successful in your career life, in your love life, all the above life? Then think about who that version of you is. What does her life look like? How does she feel about her life? How do you think it feels to live in the reality where you are successful? And that you think of yourself as a damn success. Imagine that. Remember, imagining is thinking. That's all it is. And you're in your imagination all the time, just not really aware of it. But listen, every time you go to the bathroom, you're thinking thoughts. There's a dialogue happening. I know that's a shit example. No pun intended. But I'm just saying, notice how the dialogue is always happening up here. That's you utilizing your imagination, whether it's for the good or for the not so good. How can I change How can I change deeply rooted beliefs besides just thinking of what I want instead? Or is that all? Essentially, yes. But if you have a belief that you have deeply rooted beliefs, and that means to you that that's going to be hard to do, state of consciousness that is open, or it's possible that it doesn't have to be as hard as you think it does. So again, you need to authentically think about, what do you really believe about those deeply rooted beliefs? Are they in there so deep that it's going to be hard to get rid of them? Because you might believe that right now in this moment, and there's no judgment if you do. I know I used to think that kind of thinking, by the way. I used to think like, oh my God, because I found law of attraction when I was 38 and I didn't start applying it till I was 42. And let's just be honest, in 4 days, I'm going to be 51, you know? So just saying, I used to think, oh my God, I've had 38 plus years of thinking this shit. This is going to take me forever. Forever. And if you've ever had trauma of any kind, I certainly have. I thought, oh my God, those are going to be forever. How am I going to dig those up? No, that was a misunderstanding on beliefs from a limited 3D worldview. So they don't have to be hard at all. They're going to be as difficult as you think it's going to be difficult. So if you know authentically that you do believe that you have a feeling it's going to be hard or it's going to take you a long time, then I would think about the version of you who doesn't believe that. The version of you who thinks it's possible, it could be really, really easy to do. Now, think about it. Most of us humans are conditioned to think like the good things in life take time, hard work. And it sounds too good to be true that you can just hop your ass to a different version of yourself. And this actually could be easy. We doubt that because of our conditioning. So if we go around the conditioning by focusing on a state of consciousness where you believe it's possible that it could be easy, that's a huge stepping stone to move you into the state that you want to be in. Now, I'm not saying you got to do it that way. I'm just saying that's an option so we can get rid of that belief. Ooh, okay, that makes sense. Good, because that's what I believe. They never go away. I resonate with you very much, Miss Amanda Michelle. I resonate with you because I thought that too. And I have had the experience where, I'm trying to think where I was in my SP journey. Where was I? I don't remember exactly. I don't remember the time frame. I don't remember. I don't think it was. I know I'm talking to you like you've lived my SP journey. I know you haven't, but I kind of reference moments. So I'll say, oh, September of 2022 or back in the solo vacations. And that's just because, I've been making videos for a long time. So it was somewhere around my second solo vacation where a belief that I thought I had already transcended, that I already got rid of, it was there again. It came back up, and that scared the shit out of me. But the beautiful thing is, that's what's moved me into the understanding of states of consciousness. So that second solo vacation, just saying to anybody else who's experiencing a breakup of any kind, that second solo vacation, I learned so much from. Changed my life. So it felt like it was a scary, terrible time to be in a breakup. But yeah, I manifested my person back, and yeah, life changed. I got what I wanted. I learned in that moment. So regardless, when an old belief came back in, that scared me. That made me think, wait a minute, I thought I'd already gotten rid of this belief. How is it coming back up? I didn't understand states of consciousness. I didn't understand. And I didn't understand being aware and what beingness is. So when I understood states of consciousness and that we can move through states all the time, there was nothing to be, wait a minute, what is wrong with this thing? Did I pause? Am I still live for you guys? I feel like my internet just went bloop. I am? I'm still here? You still hear me? Okay. So, no, beliefs are not hard to transcend, to move past, to dig up and throw away. Why? Because who you are is pure, unadulterated consciousness. That's your true self. You don't have to believe and accept that right now. That's okay. You don't need to. And whatever you believe that is, that consciousness, beingness, from there is identity. So every single version of you, you are connected to right now in this moment. Right now. Every version. So the version of you that believes it's hard to transcend a belief, the version of you who thinks it's possible that it could be quick, the version of you that never had that belief to begin with. All of these versions you are connected to right now in this moment. I know that sounds woo-woo. Think of a sun. You are the sun, and I know that sounds woo-woo. Think of a sun. You are the sun, and all the sun rays coming off of it are all the different versions of you. So you're at that center. So if it feels like an old belief came back, no, your state shifted. Nothing's wrong. There's nothing to panic over. It didn't fail. It's your state. So move the state. See what I mean? Move the state. You're a great coach, Kim. I love your energy and true knowledge. Thank you so much. Is it Isa hologram fam? Isa hologram fam? Thank you very much. I think something wacky is going on with this live stream because, like just a second ago, it said there was no one here. And I clearly see your comments. I know you're here. I see it's moving. So that makes me, I'm wondering if my internet went boop, boop. TikTok has been weird lately. I agree, per Steph. It's good on your end. Okay, good. I've been fine. Good. Thank you, Billionaire Brides Club. It helps when you guys answer those questions for me. Anyway, so what I was trying to say is that no matter what you're manifesting, no matter what it is, if you're manifesting a specific person, if you're manifesting a friends with benefits into a permanent, fully committed relationship, you, at this very moment, are all of those versions of yourself. But your awareness can only focus in on one at a time. So when you believe you're in a friends with benefits scenario, you got to transcend what the senses are telling you. So 3D reality might be saying to you, specific person only wants to be friends with benefits. Here's the evidence. They only contact you for one thing. That's the evidence of the senses. I'm not saying you're not having the experience. I'm saying in consciousness, you are the version of yourself that's in the relationship. If you would bring your awareness to that version of yourself. How do you do that? You consciously think about what it would be like to be that version of yourself. It is as simple as I'm saying. It is. Like most of the things in life, most things that give the largest amount of change are usually very simple, but it's our human logicalness that we just can't accept it can be this easy. It just doesn't feel acceptable. So we start doing our manifestation techniques, and then when 3D reality does not appear to be any different, we assume the worst. We assume nothing's happening, nothing's changed, this isn't working, I must be doing something more wrong. So let me go and try new techniques, and we'll do those for a little while. Then we'll look out at reality, and if nothing's changed, we go back and we change our technique again. Do you see what I'm saying? It's an endless friggin' cycle. The truth is, all you ever needed to do was consciously think about who you want to be and return to that. When you notice you're back to focusing on a, we'll say, less than favorable version of you, you got to bring it back. That's what the persisting is. It's bringing the awareness back. Your awareness is your focus. Your awareness just means, what are you thinking about? What are you focusing in on? What are you marinating in? Now, if you're someone that doesn't believe in any of the woo-woo, like you being source, you being pure unadulterated consciousness, and you're more focused on just your subconscious mind. Okay. Your subconscious mind is you. It is you. You don't have to be afraid of your subconscious mind. Now, I know what 3D reality says. Your subconscious mind is what is projecting out to reality. So you got to change the beliefs that are within your subconscious mind in order to project out into reality the life you want. Manifesting a specific person, and maybe you have a belief that you are not good enough. So by subconscious rules, well, you have a belief that you're not good enough. So the subconscious is going to project things that make you feel like you're not good enough. Like your SP showing up like shit. Just hear me out. The conscious mind dictates to the subconscious mind. Now I know subconscious is what projects, but a repetitive conscious thought, or a thought that is thought with conviction, dictates to the subconscious mind. So you have more power with your conscious mind than you're really aware of. Now we're told that it's really hard to change your beliefs. This is what science has said. Well, guess what? That doesn't apply right now. That doesn't apply. You're not limited. You just need your awareness to know it. You just need your awareness to be aware of being. That's why you focus on the version of you that has the desire. All of that is taken care of from there. I know that can be very difficult to trust that. I understand, but your imagination is running the show. What you consistently imagine, you're always imagining. You're always thinking. What you imagine is what shows up in reality. Imagine the life you want. Imagine living that life. Imagine being the person in that life. You're going to experience it in reality. So for example, what finally brought me the relationship, the version of my relationship and the version of my person in my reality, was when I stopped focusing on techniques, in a sense, and put all the focus on who am I in that reality. The version of me who's in that relationship with that version of my person that I want to be with. Who is she? What does she do on a daily basis? What thoughts is she thinking? And I just thought about that and told myself that I was that person. And I would say the affirmation, I am new self. Because I wrote down, because I like paper products, I made a new self list. And I covered every area of my life, what I wanted it to look like. New self. So when I would say the phrase, I am my new self, it meant everything I wrote on that paper. I wouldn't have been able to write any of that stuff down if it wasn't already in here. That's why you don't have to be afraid. Maybe your subconscious doesn't know what you want. Yes, it does. If you think it, it knows. Don't overthink that. It's your state of consciousness that is running your reality. So how do we change our state? We imagine being in the new state. Okay? Imagining does not mean you have perfect visuals. You don't have to have perfect pictures. You're imagining even when you're writing on paper. You're imagining. That makes sense? I hope all of that makes sense. All right. So, on that note, I must go. Thank you so much for joining me again. What is this? Is this day 2 or day 3 of live streams? It might be day 2. We're going to make it a day 3. I'm going to go live again tomorrow. I am back into my zhuzh of loving TikTok lives. So I will be back tomorrow at some point in the afternoon after my coaching calls are done. Okay? All right. Yes, it does, Alex Cross. I go through waves, if you haven't noticed. I go through waves where I go live over on YouTube all the time. Then I take a break. It's usually because my coaching schedule is crazy. I'll do that. And then I get back into that mood of, I want to be on TikTok. My love for TikTok is here. I'm in that stage right now. So you'll be seeing a lot of me. Don't get annoyed with me. Come back and see me. All right. I love you all. I hopefully will see all of you tomorrow, or at least some of you. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I can't think. Anyway, we're going to save it, yes, in case anybody asks. And yes, I will upload it to YouTube. All right. Have a fabulous rest of your day.